Tent City Jail. Barbed wire and tents in the middle of the desert. Temperatures inside the tents are often over 140 degrees Fahrenheit.
Everybody out on the fence. Everybody up and out on the fence. Grab your shirt.
They're all of that.
The conditions are like those in a bad Hollywood film, except this is bitter reality.
I would cry on the way out to work, and I would cry on the way back.
Here, the men wear pink, and many think of pigs when they eat.
You know what they feed the pigs? That's what it looks like.
That's the way he wants it.
I did it to make it tough.
Those who don't get it and need a tougher lesson land in the hole. Isolation for 23 hours a day. It's hard to stay sane.
Anything can set it off.
1 minute it's calm, blink of an eye, then all of a sudden they're fighting.
I'd rather be in any other jail than be here.
Behind bars, in what could be the USA's toughest jail. Those incarcerated in Tent City in the Arizona desert first learn about the special dress code. It all begins quite harmlessly, with a change of shirt. Those who have been sent to Tent City have been officially convicted and need an official shirt.
Everybody on this yard is fully sentenced, so therefore he cannot wear that shirt because it says unsentenced. He, in essence, is fully sentenced.
The sheriff's inmate. From now on, the new prisoners are completely in the hands of the most notorious sheriff in the USA, Joe Arpaio, founder of Tent City, who also thought up a very special dress code for his inmates. Because from now on, pink is in. Not only for Tent City's female prisoners, but for the males too. Pink towels. And pink underwear. For all prisoners, pink is mandatory. Including socks.
Real men wear pink, right?
Thought up by a sheriff who parks his own tank outside the jail. Joe Arpaio is reckoned to be the toughest of all hardliners among America's prison wardens.
They smuggle to sell. So I decided to go pink because nobody wears pink underwear. So when they get out, we see pink. That's our underwear. That's the official reason. The other reason is they hate pink. Why would you give them a color that they like?
More than a few human rights activists regard Arpaio as a kind of sadist. He can live with that, as must the new arrivals.
It is what it is. Can't really change anything until I get out, you know.
Pink underwear is just the beginning, as new prisoners soon discover when assigned to their new home, which consists of tents baking in the desert heat. Brainchild of Sheriff Arpaio, who introduced them in 1993, and since then has funneled about 500,000 prisoners through the system. The tent city behind barbed wire and a high fence has capacity for 2,000 inmates. Arpaio dreamt up a highly cost-effective facility and found old Army surplus tents from the Korean War. Each tent houses 22 inmates. Under the sticky canvas stand the hated metal bunks, rusted iron bunk beds, where the prisoners have to sleep at night. For those who break the law, Sheriff Arpaio knows no mercy.
I did it to make it tough. And when anybody complains, I have one thing I say, and it shuts everybody's mouth. Our men and women fighting for our country, they live in tents. What's wrong with the prisoners that violated the law to live in tents?
Instead of spending $80 million on a new building, Joe Arpaio invested $150,000 in old tents, rusty beds, barbed wire, and fences. Now, the prison looks just like the sheriff wanted. A jail the inmates will hate so much, they'll never want to come back. But it's not just Arpaio's rules that make this jail so harsh. It's also the hostile environment in the blistering heat of the Sonora Desert, making it a hellhole for every inmate. In summer, the mercury can hit over 140 degrees inside the tents.
Right now the temperature in the tent right here on this bunk in the shade is 46 degrees Celsius. The rooftop, 60 degrees Celsius. The metal in this bunk, 56 degrees Celsius, 57. Yeah, it's hot. You turn the fan on that's above you, it makes like a convection oven. So, not sure what that is, take your hair dryer, put it in your face and just sit like that for a minute or two, and it's probably about what it feels like.
Pink underwear, 140 degrees under the desert sun, and all that in a tent.
I don't want to ruin my reputation and be called the nicest sheriff in America or the world. And if they don't like it, when you get out, be good. Be a good citizen.
4 a.m. Night in Tent City is over. All arise for the morning shift. Even at night, the thermometer in the hottest season is never below 95 degrees, making sleep virtually impossible. The night is also over for 21-year-old Freddie. Like all the other inmates, he must go to work 7 days a week. Freddie is serving 1 year for illegal possession of weapons and drugs. Anyone who is quick in the bathroom can catch a bit more sleep in the prison's only air-conditioned room.
Get up, take a shower, brush your teeth, shave, sit here for about an hour and a half waiting for work. And once they call you, go to work. Every day the same thing. But yeah, I'd rather be at work than be outside right here because it's hot, it's too hot, I can't even sleep. 1720.
Today, Freddie and the others have to labor in one of the other prisons. They're marched off in handcuffs. But today, the group doesn't get very far.
Oh, you fucking out, man. Man, you fucking up my wrist, homeboy. Hey, man, hey, fucking up the chain, fucking up the chain. You fucking up my wrist. Undo me from this dumbass.
Poor sleep, permanent exhaustion, tough rules, and a bunch of criminals. An explosive mix.
Unions, be advised, I'm about to mic out. I'm in the parking lot. Careful.
The two guards call for backup.
What you got?
Back there, saw him struggling with these guys. I guess they were arguing because he was pulling on the chain.
As so often in Tent City, small cause, big effect.
Little Piranha tried to get feisty right now. That's what happened. I don't know. He doesn't. He's not a morning person, so I don't know. He just got mad.
Any breach of the rules is rigorously punished. The initiator will spend the next 30 days in the dreaded hole. Daily routine behind bars. "6:30 a.m. The prisoners reach Lower Buckeye Jail. Behind thick concrete walls, sex offenders, juvenile felons, and other dangerous prisoners sit awaiting trial. Freddy's 8-hour shift begins.
T16-8547.
As a so-called trustee, he must perform menial tasks.
I just gotta sweep and mop, pick up all the clothes that are around the bubble over there. I have to check out the trashes.
Hardly a dream job, but at least here inside, it's cool.
No, I'd rather be here. In the daytime, it's really hot, dude, like really hot. The first day I went to the tents, I almost passed out just for working out. I did just a little bit of push-ups and stuff, and I almost passed out doing it.
Fainting in the heat, no rarity in Tent City. Least of all in the female tent tract, and what is known as the chain gang. 22-year-old Katie is getting ready for just such an activity in the burning heat, and in chains.
Chain gang, hoorah! It's really, really hot. Really a lot of sweating. Some girls, sometimes when we have newer girls, they get a little sick sometimes because they're not used to being out in the heat.
A chain gang means forced labor in chains, a method harking back to the times of slavery and widely used for prisoners well into the 1950s. Nowadays, hard labor in the chain gang only exists here in Arizona, and needless to say, in Joe Arpaio's jail. Katie and Jennifer, her fellow sufferer, prepare the steel hobbles.
You got it?
No, get it.
4 prisoners per chain. Once the hobbles are firmly attached, the female guard drills them on the rules.
Okay, rule number 1. I will be a model inmate. Say it again, I can't hear you. I will be a model inmate. When? At all times.
Anyone who doesn't blindly obey the 10 prison rules is asking for trouble.
I will maintain all my property in the provided 2 property boxes.
Ready, front. Mark time, march.
Ignorance of the rules means getting chopped from the chain gang. And for those prisoners sitting in the hole, it's the only way to work their way out of the dreaded solitary confinement. The military drill is the means to an end, creating structure without mercy, like in special army units. Every step is prescribed, and under the strict gaze of the female guard, nobody better break ranks. In the bus, they leave the prison area. Always right behind the portable toilet. That too plays its role in a system that many describe as maltreatment. Further harassment. The chain gang always works on busy roads, deliberately subjecting the prisoners to the curious gaze of former neighbors, workmates, and friends. Before they set out, a final caution.
All those things can be construed as weapons, so do not pick them up, because you will not like my reaction to it. If you see any of those things, step away from it.
Before starting off, the prisoners are allowed to use the prison's portable toilet. Just once. Mind you, only in chains. Still, these are so long that there's no need for the rest of the chain gang to enter. They can wait outside. Jennifer, a German immigrant, convicted for drug offenses, is struggling hard with Joe Arpaio's strict regulations, especially in view of the heat.
We're told the night before to drink at least 3 of those bottles of water because the officers do not want you to collapse. But on the other hand, we're only allowed to use the toilet once, just before we start work. If you have to go to the toilet again, you've got to hold it in.
Today's job for what Sheriff Arpaio proudly boasts is the world's only female chain gang, clearing the bushes so that no venomous snakes can nest on the roadside. All that in chains. All that in over 110 degrees. And all that in public.
I would cry on the way out to work, and I would cry on the way back. Because driving by all the neighborhoods, stuff that I've been around, that I've drove in, that I've grew up in, all that stuff, and realizing that I'm driving around in stripes now. I never thought I'd be in this position. And it just really makes you depressed because you let your life get that bad, you know, that you let yourself get that bad.
Katie was convicted for multiple drug offenses: addiction, possession, drug-related crime. A typical career for the tents. No dangerous felons do time here, yet that's how the inmates are treated, and often pushed to their physical limits.
You want any water over your neck? No. Okay.
Jennifer, attached to the chain gang, finds it aggravating that the sheriff and his officers are so proud of their methods.
I've never experienced anything like this before. And that's why they think it is so special, because it is the only chain gang, the only female chain gang in the world. That's why they think the harder the better. I think it's borderline insanity.
I'm good, guys.
Afternoon. The heat is unbearable. In the meantime, over 110 degrees Fahrenheit without any shade. Labor in the blistering sun. The toughest conditions imaginable. Cold water, the only refreshment.